Okay, I want to talk a little bit about, first of all, the depravity of humanity. This is an idea that only Christians really have, that the human heart is deprived. And it comes from several verses, but Jeremiah 9, verse 9 is the one I'm going to quote today. The human heart is the most deceitful of all things and desperately wicked. Who really knows how bad it is? And it really is very bad. And so that's what we're going to talk about, and how to make good choices. And I think choices are very important in our lives. And we all know that good choices open good opportunities, and bad choices kind of close down opportunities. So if you get arrested and charged with a felony, you're not going to be able to do certain jobs. You're not going to be a lawyer or a doctor or a police officer or a lot of different jobs. But so bad choices have bad results. And God has set it up with a system that people learn to make good choices, and they can start making good choices any time of their life, even if they haven't had the background. But it's best, and God has set up a system that they do this. And educational psychologist Carol Gilligan tells us that fathers stress justice, fairness, and duty based on rules, while mothers stress sympathy, care, and help based on relationships. Fathers tend to observe and enforce rules systematically and sternly, teaching children the consequences of right and wrong. Mothers tend to towards grace and sympathy, providing a sense of hopefulness. So I think both are very important pieces of the puzzle, and I think both are necessary. And God set it up that only males and females together create children, and they got to be there. And Jesus said it's a lifelong thing, marriage is supposed to be. And so, and the fathers are going to show that there's consequences of right and wrong. And this is very important when you do bad things. And if they don't learn this, they're going to think it's okay to do wrong things. So this is very important that they do this. And in school, they have teachers that do this and should do this. And, but people who come from fatherless families do worse in school, and they have problems with depression and suicide, enter into early drug abuse, and they have poor education outcomes. So they don't see a reason to just obey the rules. And if you want to have good options in the future, you want to do good in school, and you want to get to a good high school and college and get a good job. And so this is all part of God's plan for you to glorify Him with what you do. And if you don't make good choices, you don't honor God. You don't do the plan that He has for you. And so we got to teach people and help people as teachers, as Sunday school teachers, and all those things, that there's problems and consequences of doing right and wrong. Also, with the police, um, higher crime rates, and they have a hard time obeying the police. And I'll tell you, when police stop you, you want to obey them. Show them that you are trustworthy. And if you go there and don't roll down your window and take off in your car, they see you as a possible threat that might want to kill them. So they're going to be on high alert. And so the people who get killed by the police, I'd say 95%, are ones that don't obey the police. So these people from fatherless uh, families, they don't learn the consequences of not doing good, and they do a bad thing with the police. And police are considered to be servants of God in Romans 13, and they have a system of authority for to checks and balance that, so they make good decisions, and they have judges and but you're supposed to respect them as authority, and if they don't respect their father, they're going to have a problem. Another huge problem is they don't respect God. They just don't have the God um, idea in their hearts, and it's hard for them, and people need to talk them into it, and they have a hard time believing in God. So this is the saddest. This is unthinkable how bad this is, and it could have eternal consequences of making a bad decision with God. And so this depravity, it affects all of life. And I think everybody's got to realize that you got to make good choices. You're not going to do it automatically. And in governments, um, we in the United States have the best government, I think, ever, and it's based on biblical principles. It has division of power with all checks and balances. And nobody has absolute authority, and Congress makes the laws, the president enforces the laws, and the Supreme Court reviews the laws to see if they're constitution. So the ultimate authority is the Constitution. Our laws come from God. We don't have a king who just can rule over everything. And when you have all this power in one spot, then Satan has an easier job of controlling the country, and having this division of power with checks and balances is a real good idea. And socialism isn't a good idea. They like to control your thinking and control your decision making. They think, well, everybody's good, and if we make everybody equal, nobody will want to try to get better, and so everybody will be good. But they don't understand the depravity of men. And here's a quote from socialist Antonio Grimsky from Italy, and he wrote in 1930. Socialism is precisely the religion that must overwhelm Christianity. Socialism will triumph by first capturing the culture via infiltration of schools, universities, churches, and the media by transforming the consciousness of the society. So that's what they're trying to do. And so that's why I'm really for school choices and having good alternative universities and protecting our churches from these bad ideas because they're satanic. And socialism is basically just a uh, communist with some patience. And I think he's talking about socialism and communism, and it is a religion. And so this is bad, having this government and having economics. I believe that the best system is a capitalistic system with a free market, and that is allows people to make good choices, and it forces people to serve other people to make money. In socialism, you just make money automatically. It doesn't matter what you do, and the only way to get ahead is to lie and cheat and steal. But under capitalism, if you have a good system with a government referee, is what it should be. You shouldn't have crony capitalism, but a free market determining the price, determining the wages, and a system where a person can make good decisions. Like I think Carnegie, he had a nickel in his pocket and became a multimillionaire, and when he came over as an immigrant. So having the ability to make these good choices and be rewarded for these and having good outcomes from making good choices. And this is what they don't like about J.D. Vance. He came from a bad start, and but he made good choices afterward, so he didn't stay part of that. He rose above it. And so that's the thing. And he honors God for doing it. And I thank God that he did it. And he's just a wonderful person if you hear about his story and read his book or see the movie. So the depravity of man is a fact, and the world doesn't understand it. And the crimes in the cities that we have as a result of poor judges and poor prosecutors and police that are not doing their jobs or being defunded. We know that when Rudy Giuliani took over New York, he did increase the police, increase the judges, increase the punishment, and it works every time. I've seen it in my work too, and just having fathers and making good choices is just the answer, and that's what I'm trying to say today.